Hello guys, so in the previous video we installed ArcGIS Pro. Now we will go through a quick view of ArcGIS Pro and we will open it and go through all the toolbars and all the windows very quickly. So we will come here and on our desktop or from your Windows menu you open ArcGIS Pro. And here, as we saw in the previous video, you have the options here to open any previous projects, but here we will try the option to open a new project in a map template. So we are going to say here we are going to save it in this location, and here's the name of the project. Say OK. And as you see here, once you open a new project, you automatically have a base map for you. It's the World Topographic Map. And that's a good thing instead of having an empty map. So at least here you have, when you open a new project as a map template, you have a base map ready for you. So here on the left side, this window right here, this is the contents where you add your layers and you add your data frames and you add your maps. And if you added different maps, you can add it here as well. So for example, here you can choose add a new map, you can choose a new map or new globe scene for 3D or new local scene for 3D. And once you choose an option here, it will add it here as another map for you. So you can work on different maps, 3D or 2D, from the same content window. And here on the top, in the very top here, we have here you can create a new project or open an existing one, and you can add or remove options by clicking here and say if you want, for example, add the locate options, you can add it from here. And you can also customize how the look of your ribbons looks like all these tools right here, what commands to be in it, you can customize it from here. Right below it we have the project tab where you can change settings for your projects and maybe save or save as or open a new one, change your portal connections, check your license, check the options, and all the things we saw in the previous video. You can achieve it by clicking here on project. The first tab we have here is map, and map gives you the basic navigation tools like zoom in, zoom out, go to next extent, and here you have the layers where you can add base map, you can add data from ArcGIS Online or from your local data. Here you have the selection options, select by attribute, select by location. The next here we have the locate, so we can find or do measures or do infographics. Here you have some controls to manage labeling, and here you can work online by downloading your map to work on it online. So for example, this base map is coming from ArcGIS Online. If you wanted to work on this extent, you can download the maps in case you work on a field, you have a tablet or a laptop, and most of the time you don't have an internet connection. It's good to download your map and work on it offline. The next tab here we have insert, and this one used to insert new maps, new globe scene for 3D or local scene for 3D as well. Here you can manage your layout view, you can choose the size of your layout, and also you can add new reports, and here you can do connections. You can connect to a database or you can connect to ArcGIS server, and here you can add a new folder connection. For example, if you have all your data or most of the time you work on one folder that have all your data, you can connect to this folder from here, so you have an easy access to this data all the time. And here you have some layer templates, so you can change these templates from here, how your layer will look like, and we will come to that later. And here you have new link short, and this is one of the new things where you can connect your data together and you can see the connection between this data from here. Here you can do distance and direction measurement. Here you can change your styles, and here you can add your connection to a folder or database as one of your favorites, so you have easy access to it. The Analyze tab here gives you the ability to use the analysis tools. You can create a new model builder from here or a Python script, change the environments, open the ready-to-use existing tools that exist online for you, and you can use it as well on ArcGIS Online. And here you can open your toolbox window, which open on the right side here. This is the geoprocessing window. It shows you the favorites, which is the most common geoprocessing tools, but also if you open the toolbox from here, you will see all the toolboxes available for you to use. Here is the portal. So as we saw here, right here, we have the option to use some of the analysis tools on ArcGIS Online or your portal. Also, when you are connected to a certain portal, or if you have your own portal through ArcGIS Enterprise and you have some analysis tools published on this portal, you can access it from here as well. So this window is to access all the geoprocessing tools locally or online. and you can open this window from this icon right here. And here you have another window that shows you the most common tools, and you have icon for each tool, and you can, when you hover on each one, it will give you information about what this tool is used for, and you can have easy access to these tools from here. Here we have the feature analysis or the raster analysis, and here you have your workflow options where you can use some specialized analysis for workflows. Here you have the raster options to create a raster functions or function editor. You can use it from here as well. On the view tab, we have, if for example, if you need to open like specific window that you close it. So for example, if we close this one by mistake and then we need to open the content window again, you will find that you can open it from here. You can open the catalog view where you have a view similar to our catalog where you can manage your data from here, or you can open the catalog window from here so you have easy access to drag and drop your data directly from here. Also, you can open the Python window, the tasks, the workflow manager, and all the windows that you can open from here. Here you have the thumbnail where you can create a thumbnail for your project. Here you can manage the animation, scene. If you have the 3D data and you have like a scene map opened, you can manage some controls from here. Here you can do clipping, navigation using the navigator or the camera. Here we have the editor tab, and the editor tab is used to during your editing. So when we add features and we start editing, we will use the editor tab most of the time. Here you have the most common tools that's used for editing, and some icons here like create a new feature, modify existing feature, snapping is managed from here as well, and we will discuss what is snapping. You can choose what kind of map you're working on. It could be topology or not. You can manage it from here. Here you can use the error inspector. Here you can change your mode for the drawing. Here you have the elevation controls, and here you can do corrections and data reviewer. So this tab is basically used for editing, and when we do editing we will go through each item here and what we can do with this editing tab. Imagery tab is used for raster data, so you can create a new workspace where you can create your own raster mosaic, or you can have raster functions and function editor for all your raster information. And this tab is basically all for raster data and raster analysis and raster data management. The last tab we have here is share, and share gives you the ability to share this map, this entire project, as a map package or as a mobile package, or for example if you have a deep learning model you create, you can share it from here. Here you can share your map as a web map on ArcGIS Online or your ArcGIS organization account or your portal. Here you can share your feature layers as feature service or hosted services, or you can overwrite an existing one, and here you can create a locator and publish it from here. Here you can publish your web tools, any geoprocessing tools you created, you can publish it from here. Here you can see the jobs. If you have several jobs that is working, let's say for example you have a lot of geoprocessing going on, or you have something that takes a lot of time to publish, or geodatabase update, any kind of jobs that is going on right now, you can view it from here. Here you can manage your data storage, replace web layer, and here you can create a new project template. So for example, if we created a lot of changes and we added different maps and we added different scene views, you can save this template as a project template, or you can save it as a map file. And the map file is something similar to an MXD, but the project is the entire project including all the data inside of it. Map file will be something similar to an MXD in ArcGIS Desktop. Print is going to print your map. Export, you can export your map to PDF or GIF, GPG. You can export your map however you see it right now. Your map control, it will export it with all these settings set up right here. So that's it for the tabs. On the top here you have the windows. You can view it anytime. You have the catalog. If you cannot see it again, let's say for example this one is hidden, go to the view and open the catalog pane, and it will open it for you right here. Same thing for the geoprocessing or any other geoprocessing tool or window that you don't know how to access. Make sure that you open the view tab and see if you can find it right here. So here's a tip. If you are moving from ArcGIS Desktop and there's some tools or some things that you know how to access in ArcGIS Desktop easily and you know where it is and you cannot access it here, make sure to come to the geoprocessing and search for it right here. So most of the time the things that we used to use in ArcGIS Desktop, by right click somewhere and we find it in the menu, or it exists in one of the tabs, or you open a new toolbar and you find it, Right now in ArcGIS Pro, it will be in the geoprocessing window, and you can find it by just search for the word. So for example, if you want to create calculate geometry for attribute, the way to find it here is just come here and say calculate geometry and click enter, and you will find the tool here, and you open it and you do your calculate geometry. So if there's anything you used to find easily on ArcGIS desktop, this is the way to find it on ArcGIS Pro. So that's it for the geoprocessing window. Here on the top you have the username you used to log in. If you log in using ArcGIS online account, it will show up here. If you log in using a portal or ArcGIS enterprise account, it will show up right here. You can manage your portals, and if you have several portals, you can switch between them from here. Here in the notification, if you have any notifications sent to you through your portal or through ArcGIS online, it will show up right here. And here, this arrow on the top right here, you can hide your toolbar if you want to focus more on the map and make your map bigger, or you can show it again right here. And the last thing here on the bottom, we have the refresh. To refresh the map, you have the pause. So if the map is drawing and there is so many data that is drawing on the map, you can pause the drawing from here. And here it shows you how many selected features you have, if you have any selected features. Here it shows you the location of your mouse on the map by decimal degrees. You can change it to meters, feet, or any units you want from here, and that's an easy way to change your map units from here. And the last thing here, we have you can control your snapping, you can control your constraints if you have some constraints. The grid, you can manage it from here, or you can do the corrections from here as well. And we can customize this toolbar by coming here and say customize the ribbon, and we can customize anything in here. You can customize it and save it based on your customization. So every time you open ArcGIS Pro again, you have the same customization you saw. So that's it for this video, and it's not very complicated, it's very easy. If you are coming from ArcGIS Desktop, the first time you open ArcGIS Pro, you will get the feeling that there is less things, or where is the things that I used to see in ArcGIS Desktop, where we see so many things and so many controls and so many windows. Here they minimize it and they focused on what really matters and give you the ability to use the geoprocessing window, so you can search for anything that most likely use all the time. And also, if you are using it all the time, you can add your custom toolbar and add your own commands to it. So that's it for this video, and starting next video we will see how can we create data and add it to our map and start editing it. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Okay guys, so in this video we will do something very important, because ArcGIS Pro is ultimately going to replace ArcMap. So we need to know how can we migrate our data, or MXDs, from ArcGIS Desktop to ArcGIS Pro. You have to keep in mind that any data exists in an MXD, like JDatabases, feature classes, raster data. You can add it to your ArcGIS Pro project, but if you have an MXD and you open it, it's not going to open in ArcGIS Pro. You have to import it in a certain way that we will see right now. So what we will do is, we have this MXD called California. It has some California data, Southern California data, like counties, cities, freeways, and it's created using ArcMap. And we have an MXD saved in our course data folder location that we are going to see how can we open and view the same data in ArcGIS Pro right now. So the first thing, when you open ArcGIS Pro, you create a new project with a map template, and we will call it California, and we will save it in our course data folder location, ArcGIS Pro Beginner, from ArcMap to ArcPro, and we will choose this folder and say OK. And now we will have a new ArcGIS Pro project created for us. And as you see here, now we have a new map with just the base map. So in order for us to import the MXD that we used to work on ArcMap to ArcGIS Pro, you need to go to the Insert tab, go to Import Map, and then go to our folder location, and inside the same folder you will find ArcMap California. You will open this one and you will choose the MXD we just showed on ArcMap right now, and we will say OK. It will take few seconds, but once it finishes, it will show you the exact data we had on ArcMap in our MXD here, right here on ArcGIS Pro. Looks exactly the same, have the same symbology, have the same data, have the same, even the order in the table of content or the content here, have the same names, same visibility, same scales, same everything that exists in the MXD. So basically what import map does, it takes an MXD, break it down, try to find all the content inside this MXD, and then add the same data with the same source location to a new project in ArcGIS Pro with the same settings and the same properties you have set it up in ArcMap. So basically that's it. It's very simple. And once you start working on the data right here, once you will save it, it will be saved in our folder location right here. So if we open the folder location, you will see that we have a folder called California. Inside of it, we have the geodatabase for the same project. And here we have the import log, which have information about the conversion from MXD to APRX, which is an ArcGIS Pro project extension. So now at any time, if you double click here, it will open the project like it opened it in MXD in ArcMap. It will open this project in ArcGIS Pro. And all the layers that exist in this project right now, like all these layers, if we right click on any of them and we try to find the source where it does exist, you will see that exists in the folder where the MXD or the original geodatabase created the MXD pointing to. So basically, instead of the MXD pointing to the same geodatabase, now the APRX or our ArcGIS Pro project is pointing to the same location for the same file. Which means if you created a geodatabase or a feature class in ArcCatalog in ArcGIS Desktop, you still can use it here. And if you created a feature class in ArcGIS Pro, you still can use it in ArcMap. And you can import an MXD to ArcGIS Pro, but you cannot do the opposite. So what that means is you cannot open APRX folder or project in ArcMap. You can add the same data, but you cannot open an APRX ArcMap. So you can think about it like it's one way from MXD or from ArcGIS Desktop to ArcGIS Pro, but you cannot do the other way. But the same data inside, you can use it. So that's a good thing. Whatever data someone created in ArcGIS Desktop, you can open it in ArcGIS Pro, and the opposite. You can open ArcGIS Pro data in ArcGIS Desktop data as well. So basically that's it for how can you import your MXD from ArcGIS Map. And when we go back here, you will notice that the new MXD have been created under a new tab here. So each tab here represent a new map. And when you create a new map, like for example, insert new map, it will create a new tab here and a new content for you. And you can switch between them however you want. So the MXD we imported right now, it took the data frame name and created a new map for it and added all the layers for it. Now we will save this project. So our objective is to create the same data from scratch on ArcGIS Pro and using Catalog to create a new geodatabase and create the same data we have right here. So we'll see you in the next videos. Thanks. Hello guys. So in this video we will start by creating shapefiles. So in order to create shapefiles, we are going to open ArcGIS Pro and open Catalog. And we will name our project Balboa Island because we are going to create shapefiles for an island in California called Balboa Island. And we are going to put our folder, and we will create a new folder here called Balboa Island. And we will save our project inside this folder. Say OK. Don't create a new folder for this project. We already created one. Say OK. And we will do a new folder connection to our course data folder. Right here, say OK. So here, when I open folders, you will see that we have a folder connection directly to our folder. So usually when you create a new ArcGIS Pro project, it's automatically create a geodatabase for you and a custom toolbox for you, so you can add your data to this geodatabase or add a new toolboxes for your toolboxes. But we are not going to do this in this video. What we will do in this video is create a new shapefile. So we will right click here and say new, and we will choose shapefile. And as you see on the right side here, we have the geoprocessing window opened, and it will open for us create feature class, but we are going to create a shapefile. But we can use the create feature class geoprocessing to create shapefiles or feature classes. So here is the output folder location. So we are going to create 4 shapefiles. One, we will call it ports. It's going to be point type. The other one is parcels, polygon. The third one is houses, polygon. The fourth one is streets, and it's going to be type line. And let's see how we can do that here. So the first one will be ports, and it will be point. And as you see the options here, we have point, multi-point, polygon, polyline, and multi-patch. So we will choose point. We don't have a template right now. This is if you have a template that have specific fields, or you wanted to copy the template or the coordinate system and the fields from another feature class, you can do it here. and we are not going to use any m value or z value, and we will choose a coordinate system to be projected coordinate system world WGS World Mercator 1984. Here you go. Say OK. Feature class alias, we will call it boats ports, and we will just click run. It will show you the progress here, and it will show you that it succeeded. You can come right click here and say refresh, or it's already going to refresh automatically and it will show your new shapefile here. We will do the same thing 3 times, but I want to show you one extra thing we can do here. So let's name this one streets, and it will be type lion. And now we can use a template for another shapefile, so it can use the same coordinate system we chose. Or you can also, when you choose the coordinate system, you can come here and say I want to import a coordinate system, and you choose where you want to import your coordinate system. So for example, we have this shapefile we created, already have the coordinate system we want, so we are going to import the new coordinate system from this one. Say OK, and as you see, it automatically chose the same one we chose for this shapefile. So I'll say OK, run, and we are gonna do the same thing for the houses, and gonna be type polygon, and we are going to run. Same thing for parcels, and we are going to type polygon, same coordinate system, run. And now we have 4 shapefiles that we will add to our map to start drawing this shapefiles in a certain area. In the next video, we will add this shapefiles to our map and start to do some editing. We'll see you next video. Thanks. Okay guys, so now after we created this 4 shapefiles, we will go to new map and select I want to add a new map, and it will open a map tab right here for us, and it will show the content here. Automatically when we create a new map, you have the base map, world topographic map. So now we can add our shapefiles, we can add it from here or you can add it from here. So we are going to do both to show you the difference. So here I'll choose add data, I'll go to my folder location and just add this 2 here. I can select multiple, so I will add the points and the streets, and then I'll choose from here. It's the exact same thing, but I'm showing you that there's 2 different ways to add your data. So here we are going to go to the same folder location and add the other 2 shapefiles. Say OK. Now we have our points, we have streets, we have houses, and we have parcels. And we will zoom to our area of interest, which is Balboa Island in Newport Beach City in Southern California, here around this area right here. And here we have the map navigation options. I will go through each one of them. So here the Explore, and the Explore here shows you an indication of what is the mouse can do. So the left click of the mouse can do view pop-ups and pan the map like I'm doing right now. And the left click, if you hold the left click and you move your mouse up and down, you will see that you can zoom in and zoom out from the map. And here we have the bookmarks where we can save this extent right now we have as a new bookmark. So here I'll click new bookmark and I will name the bookmark Balboa Island, and you can add description here, say OK. So now for example, if you are working on different areas on the same map, you can be anywhere on the map and you just come to the bookmark and say go to Balboa Island, and it will bring you to the extent where you saved your bookmark at. Here go to X and Y. If you have a certain lat and long or value, you can add it right here. So for example, right here I can do this pan and it will take me to the location of this X and Y. I can also do flash if I am right here and I want to see where is this lat and long exist, and you can change the unit you enter your lat and long from here as well to take you anywhere you want on the map. So we will hide the go to X and Y and we will go back to our Balboa Island. And now we will start do our editing for the shapefiles. In order to do that, we need to go to the create. It will open the create window, so you can choose which layer you want to work on. So here it shows you the layers that you can edit it. So we will start with the ports, and we can also pen this window right here. So we have it all the time in front of us. Here it shows you the options you can use to draw the points. So we will use the regular create a point on the map. So you can choose how you want to draw your point from here or here. It's the same thing. So we will zoom a little bit here and we will start adding our point location. Here's the first one, second one, and here's the third, fourth, and you keep adding your point one after another till you finish all your ports. So as you see right now, I wanted to pan the map, so I can just press the C button on my keyboard, and as you see here, my pan tool is now enabled, so I can pan my map. Same thing for the zoom in. You can use the Z to use for zoom in, or the X to use for zoom out. So now we finished our points. Now we will go and start to draw the streets. So we have to choose it from the create feature window, and we choose the first tool, which the regular draw a line tool. And this one, once you choose it, you will see that when you click anywhere, you will create a vertex, and when you move your mouse, you create another vertex, and there is a line connected it. And you can keep drawing your line like that. And keep in mind to try to add a vertex in every intersection and try to finish a line that match one street. So for example, I'm not gonna go and continue my line here because I didn't finish drawing this street. I'm trying to draw one street right here, so I'm going to add one vertex in every intersection, and at the end of the street I will double click to finish my drawing. So here I'm gonna double click. Now I have the line here, and it's one segment, it's one street. We can do the same thing again, and because we are drawing streets, we want to make sure that this street is connected. And the way to make sure that this street is connected, you need to enable the snapping for vertex. So we have another separate video for snapping, but I'm just going to enable the snapping by coming here in the edit toolbar, snapping, and just click on snapping. Make sure that my vertex here is enabled, and then once I go to my map again, I'll see that my mouse, when I move close to any vertex on the map or a line, my mouse snaps to it. So now when I click here, I'm sure that my line, the new one, is connected to the existing line here. So I'm gonna continue draw my streets and make sure that I have a vertex in every intersection, and we'll do the same for all the streets, and make sure to draw one line for each street, and also you can pan like I did right now. So here I'm drawing this street right now, and we'll do the same for all the streaks. So now we finished drawing our streets. The next thing we will do is we will draw our polygons by choosing the parcel or the houses. So for example, we will choose this location right here. We will draw this entire block as one parcel. So we will choose a parcel. We will choose the default polygon drawing tool, and we will come here and draw this one like that as one block. And you double click to finish the editing. Make sure that the houses is on top of the parcel, and we will choose the houses to draw some houses inside this block. But as you see right now, we cannot see the houses to digitize it. So what we will do is we will hide the parcel layer so we can see our houses. We will zoom in a little bit more and start draw our polygons right here. And now we finished drawing our houses, we finished drawing the streets, the parcels, and all the editing we want to do. Now you can enable this one again, and make sure that while you're editing, you do save every once in a while. Now, because we didn't draw a lot of things, we can save it at the end. But if you are doing a lot of editing for large amount of data, make sure to save it once in a while, so you make sure that your data and the new data you just entered is saved on your map. So here we click save, and it opened this window for us, saying, do you want to save all the edits, or you want to select specific things to save? So I will say save everything. And now my new data is saved, and as you see here, the save is disabled right now because we don't have anything anymore. So that's how you can add your shapefiles to your map, and how can you edit it. So editing is the same for the feature class as well. So when we come and create a feature class later in another section, we will do the editing for this feature class the same way we did for the shapefile right now. So we are going to make sure that we save our project, we save our edits, because in the next video we will open the attribute table for each feature class, add fields, and add some attribute data. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Okay guys, so in this video we will add some attribute data to our features that we just entered for the shapefiles we have. Before we do that, I want to show you one thing. When we create a new ArcGIS project, it automatically creates a new geodatabase for your project and create a folder for your project. Also, the other thing is that when you create a new shapefiles in Catalog, it looks like that. One file with extension of SHP. But when we go to the folder location where our data is, here our Balboa Island and its folder, inside of it you will see backups, you will see geodatabase, you will see another folder called import log, you will see index, and this is our project folder. You will see the toolbox that we have right here, this is the toolbox, and also you will see the shapefiles we have. Each shapefile have a lot of files, so when you create a new shapefile or a new feature class, ArcGIS save it on your local machine as separate files combined together to create one shapefile. So for example, the houses shapefile have this file and this one and all these files right here. These files combined and working together creates the shapefile as we see it right here, and it show up on the map as one shapefile. But in our folder location it show up like that. And this is the way ArcGIS create its files. You don't have to change anything in these files, but make sure that if you are going to share a shapefile with someone, make sure to include all these files with it. We have some other files here, like you see this one, and all these files have the same name as a house, but this file is a lock file. A lock file is a lock happens on these files if it's opened in a map. Because we have this shapefiles opened on ArcGIS Pro right now, if I close this entire project and I say yes, I want to save edits, and I go to my folder location, you will see that these files will disappear right now. As you see right now, it disappeared because when you have this shapefile opened on ArcMap, it make a lock on it, so you can edit, you can do changes, but once you close your project, now this lock is gone, and now you have these files that have house on it from here to here. You can add all these files to one folder, one zip file, and send it to anyone, and when they open it, they will be able to see it on ArcGIS Pro on the catalog window as one shapefile, and they can work on it the same way you work on it on ArcGIS Pro. So this is a quick overview of how the shapefile looks on your folder location and how it looks on your ArcGIS Pro, and what is the lock files for. Now we will open our project again and do adding attributes. So now we have our map opened again. Again, if you open the folder, you will see that the lock files have been created again. So let's come back here and see how can we add attributes. There's different ways to add attributes. You can right click on any layer and say open attribute table, and when the attribute table is opened, you will see that you have your data and attribute associated with each feature, and when you click on any feature right here, it will highlight it on the map, or if you double click, it will zoom to this feature so you know which feature you are editing. Also, if you open the attribute window from here, you will see the attributes for this specific feature you are selecting. So in order for us, for example, let's change the ID, let's add an ID 1 here, and I click somewhere else. Now this feature right here, the one I'm selecting, have an ID of 1. And you will see that the ID also change. If I select it here, you will see it right here. Also, if you are selecting a feature from here, you can change your attribute from here as well. And the other way to select a feature is to come here and do select, and let's choose, for example, this one. And now let's change this one to 2. Make sure to press enter so you can commit these changes, and you can press apply here to save it. So if I press apply, it will save it. I prefer to have auto apply enabled all the time, so every time I add a new attributes, I just press enter on the keyboard and it's saved for me. So for example, if I use the select tool to choose another one, let's say this one, and I can come here and say ID number 3, press enter, and now it's automatically applied and saved. So if you didn't do that and you are changing it, so let's remove the auto apply and say, for example, this one is ID number 5. I press enter, it looks like it's saved, but actually it's not. So when I select another feature, it will give me an error saying, do you want to commit the changes you just did? If I say yes, it will save it. If I say no, it's not gonna save it. So I will say yes and it will commit it. But if you have auto apply, Now you can choose any feature. You just enter the ID or any attribute you want, you press enter, and that's it. So it's always better to have auto apply if you are doing edits for a lot of features in the same time. So that's how you can change the attribute for any feature. So what we will do right now is we are going to create a new field for each layer right here. So right now, let's say I want to do edits for the streets. We will open the streets, and you will see that here the attribute table opened next to the other one. You can switch between them like that. So let's say now I want to add a new field that contains the street name, not the ID but the street name. In order to add a new field, you have an option here to add field, but it's disabled right now, and the reason it's disabled because you didn't save your last edits. Because we entered some attributes for the points, you cannot add field for any other layer unless you go to edit and make sure you save your edits and you say yes. And now when you have any table opened, you have the option to add a field. So you cannot add a new field unless you save any edits you do, and after you add your field you can continue the edits without a problem. And when I click on add a new field, a new tab here will open to show me the information for the existing fields. So here we have FID, we have shape, we have ID. So here it shows you what fields you have. If it's read only or not. Read only means that you cannot edit it. It's just to view it. You cannot edit the FID, for example, which is the feature ID. You can make it visible or not visible from here. And we have a totally separate video so we can focus totally on the attribute table. But for now, to add a new field, you need to click here to add a new field, and you name your field however you want. So we're going to call it street name, and the alias. And there's a difference between the field name and the alias. The field name cannot have spaces, but the alias can have space. And here the type will choose text. And there's other options that we are not going to change right now. And here's the maximum length for your text. We will keep it 255. We will close this one, and once we close it, it will ask us, do you want to save it? I will say yes. And it will show the street table with a street name field type text inside of it. So now we have the street name enabled. So right now we will enter the street name for all the layers by zooming in here. So now after we zoomed in, we see that the street name is Balboa Avenue. You can view it right here, and you come to select, you select it, make sure that the entire line is selected, and you come to the street name and you change Balboa Avenue. Or you can do the same in the attribute table by selecting one feature right here, and this one it's highlighted right here. So when I change this one to Grand Canal, now I'm sure that this is the right feature I entered. And you can do the same for all the features, so you can zoom in for each street and make sure you are writing the right name for all of them. So this is how you can add your attributes to your layers. You can continue doing that by adding all the fields you want. So I'm going right now to add a street name for all the streets. I will add a house number for the few houses we have. I will have a new field called block for the parcels, and I will add a field for the ports to contain how many boats can this port take. So I will do that, and you'll do it with me as well. Okay, great. So now I finished adding all the attributes that I need to add. It was just a sample data. So here for the houses, I just give a random number for each house. For the streets, I give the names that show up on the base map layer. And here the ports, I give like just a random number for how many ports can be on this port. Now the last thing we will do, we will save our edits. We will say yes. And now we know how to add our attribute data to our shapefiles and our features. And if you have any questions, please contact me and let me know. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Hello guys. So in this video, we will take a quick look at symbology. And symbology is the way to change how your features is represented on the map. So for example, for the points, we can change the colors, the size of the point. For the lines, we can change the width and how the line can looks like. And for the polygon, we can also change how the outline looks like, how the entire polygon with the colors looks like. So here we have the default symbologies that have been created for us when we added the map for the first time. So the way to change the symbology is you come to the content and you double click on the point itself, or you double click on the line or the polygon for each layer. So for example, we are going to start by double click on the points, and when we double click on it, you will see that the symbology window have opened on the right side right here, and from here we can change how we want our points to look like. So for example, here we can choose any shape or color we want. So as you see here, whenever I choose an icon, it changes and reflect on the map right away. And also you can choose any icon from the available icons right here. Here on the top you have a way to choose what style you want to add to your project. Also you can search for anything. For example, here we have this represents boats, ports. So we can search for boat to see if we have any icons that can represent a boat. So as you see here, we have like different sizes of the boat. So let's choose this one and see how that will look on the map. So that looks really nice to represent that this icon or this places is actually a port for boats. So that's a good one to choose. So we are gonna keep this choice the way it is. Right now we are going to change the lines. So we are gonna double click on the lines. And again, here you have so many predefined shapes and designs and styles created by Esri for you, or you can actually go to properties and create your own design however you want. So for example, here you can change the color to make it red and make the width a little bit more, and it shows on the bottom here, this is how your line will look like, and you can click apply to apply it on the map. Now we have our streets symbology changed. We can do the same for the parcels and go to the gallery, so we can choose from the existing shapes. So we can go down here and for example choose something like this, and double click will apply it for you. And as you see here, we have our polygon for the parcel changed. We can do the same for the houses, and you can change how your polygon for the houses looks like. So for example, we can choose this design and we go to properties. You will see that you can change the outline color, which is the line around the polygon. So the outline here, let's make it blue, and we can change the width to be 1, and when we say apply, you will see that our polygon took the color that we want, and the border of the polygon have a line blue and have what width on 1. So that's basically how you can change the symbology for your features. Same thing for the feature classes. This is shapefiles, but the same thing for feature classes. And in the coming videos, we will see how can we do more custom symbology for our features, and how can we represent our data in a more advanced and customized way. So that is the basic for this video, and I hope you can play with it a little bit and enjoy changing how your map looks like, and choose the colors you want, choose the symbols or the styles you want, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Hello guys, so what we are going to do in this video, we will try layout. So what we want to do for the data we created is to create a layout view so we can print our map on a real paper, or we can print it and save it as a PDF and send it to anyone. The way to do this in ArcGIS Pro is you come and create on the insert tab, you come and create new layout. And once you click on new layout, you will be able to choose the size of the paper you want to print your map on. So we will just choose A4 for now. And here it opens a new blank page for you to add any maps or any information you want. So in order to add our map here, when you go to the insert menu, when you are in the layout view and you are in the insert menu, you will go to map frame. And once you click on map frame, here you can see all the maps you have in your project. So for example, if you have several projects here, you can have several layouts, you can have several maps, and for each map you will have the ability to choose it from here. So once we click here, we will choose to add our current map view, which is this one. So when we click on it, we can drag and drop how we want our map to show up. So we are going to show it up in this area. And now we will see that you can see your map exactly like how is it on the map. And if you want to zoom in, zoom out, you just go to your main map and change your extent, and you go and add your map again to your layout. Now we have our layout with our map. Let's try and add the other things, like for example, let's try and add the north arrow. So we can add the north arrow from here, and also you choose where you want to put it. Let's make it a little bit smaller, and here's our north arrow. Also we can add a scale bar, so we are going to choose any scale bar you want. So let's choose this one, and you decide where you want to put your scale bar. And also we can add a legend, so we will add a legend from here, and we choose where we want to replace our legend, so we are going to put it here. And you can change the properties for the legend by double click on it, and you will see here the options. So you can change the width and height, you can change the size, the text, the images inside of it. You can change how your legend looks like, however you want it to look like from the properties right here. Same thing for the scale, you can double click on it and you will see here that you have a lot of options to change. We have a more advanced section for layout in the advanced section and in the master section, but for now I'm just showing you how can you change the properties and how you can add the basic element for any map. So now we have the map, we have the north arrow, we have the scale bar, we have the legend. Let's try to add a map overview. So right now people don't know where exactly this area is, so we need to create another frame that highlight the area of interest or Balboa Island inside Southern California. The way to do this is by creating a new map, and here in our new map we will just zoom to Southern California, and we know our Newport Beach and Balboa Island is in this area right here. So what we will do, we will go in the insert tab and we will go all the way down here and we choose polygon map nodes. So this is something similar to graphics. So if you want to just draw some graphics on your map, you can use the polygon map nodes, you can use the line map nodes or the point map nodes. So you can draw any graphics on your map without having the need for a shapefile or a feature class and without any attributes. So we're going to choose this one. Then I'm gonna go, as you see here, it's been added to my content table, and then I'll go to the edit, I'll add create a new feature, and I'll choose my polygon nodes, and we will choose the polygon to be a rectangle type, and we will draw a rectangle right here like that. So it's already selected, but if you want to see how it looks like, you clear the selection. You can also select move and hold it, so you can move it anywhere you want. So I'm gonna move it a little bit to the north, and we will click anywhere to apply the move. And then you can change the symbology from here. You can double click on the symbology as we saw in the previous video, and we can change the outline to red, make it 2, and make it hollow in the middle, no color, and we can apply and see how that looks like. We can make also the outline a little bit bigger so it show on our overview map. Say okay. Now it looks a little bit nicer, so let's go back to our layout, and we are going to add another map frame, and we will choose map number 2 right here, the one that we created just to show the map overview. And when we click on it, we can replace it right here. So now it shows where our area is relative to Los Angeles, Riverside, and Long Beach, which is known areas in Southern California. Also, we can add a chart or a graph from here. You won't have any options here to add, but what you need to do is to select any layer you want to create the graph for. So for example, we can create a graph for our ports using the data we entered before, which is how many boats can be held in this port. So we can right click on this layer right here and say create chart. We will choose a very simple chart right now, bar chart. And here it asks you which field you want to use. We will use the boat's number, and we will keep everything the same. We are not going to change anything, but you have the option to change the series, the axis, the guides, the format, and make your graph looks however you want. But for now we are just gonna keep it the same way right now. So we created the graph for this layer right here. Now when we go to the chart frame, you will see the option to add your chart from here. So it depends on how many charts you have on your map frame. You can find it here and select this one and say I want to add my chart to be all the way right here. We can make the scale bar smaller and make this a little bit bigger. And now we have a map that is ready to be printed by going to the Share tab and say I want to print this one, and it will give you the option to choose how you want to print it. You can print it using an existing printer you have, or you can export it to PDF file, and you can save it anywhere into your local machine, so you can save it or you can print it directly into your printer. Also, you have the option to export the layout. So when you choose export, you can export it directly to PDF or GIF or JPEG. Like you export any other map, you can export your layout as well. So that was a very basic quick overview of how can you create a layout view, how we can add your maps to layout view, and how you can add other map elements like the north arrow, scale bar, legend, and some graphs as well. And that's it for this video, and in the next video we will see how can we publish our data we created for Balboa Island on our ArcGIS organization account. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Welcome back, guys. So now, after we created our layout in the previous video, let's make sure that we save our project. And our main map, it have the 4 shapefiles we created and we edited right here. The objective right now is to publish this data on ArcGIS Online, so you can have it on your ArcGIS Online organization account, and you have it part of your content, and you can share it with anyone, or you can edit it and view it on ArcGIS Online. So the way to do this is by going to the Share tab, and from here you have the 2 options to publish it as a web map. Inside the web map you will have your features, or you can publish the feature service for the layers alone. So if we can try both right now. So for example, let's publish it as a web map. Here it will open the window, share as web map. We can change Balboa Island. Let's call it this way. Give the summary, tags, and let's analyze, see if we have any errors. Now it said there's no errors and no warnings. Our map is good to be published. So now we will just click share to publish it. It will take a few minutes to publish it, but it will publish it to ArcGIS Online. And now here at the bottom here you have the status bar showing that the publishing is going on. Once it finishes, it will give us a message saying that the publishing have been done, and then we can go to ArcGIS Online and view the data. And as you see here, it said successfully shared web map on this day and this time. So now if we go to our ArcGIS Online organization account, as you see from the top right here, this is our organization account, and we go to the content, you will see that we have a web map called Balboa, and it have inside of it the feature layers that we have. So if we open this map, you will see it will look like exactly how we have it on ArcGIS Pro. So we will open the map viewer from here, and as you see here we have the map looks exactly how we have it on our ArcGIS Pro, and also we have the layers on the left side here. You can hide it or view it, or you can just click on any feature to show the information or the attributes you entered for this feature on ArcGIS Pro. So basically when you share the map, it shared the feature layers or the shape files as a feature service, and includes all the data and the symbology and also all the attributes you added to these features. Now we have this map saved already as a Balboa Island map, and this is the URL for it. So you can take this URL and send it to anyone so they can open the map and see your data, and they can actually identify or work with the data the same way you work on this data right here. But what you need to do in order for someone else other than you to view this data, you need to go to the share and make sure you share it with your organization or everyone. When you share it with everyone, that means with anyone with the URL, this URL here for the map, they can view the map as you view it right now. Here it's given us a notification saying in order to publish this map with the sharing to public, we need to update the sharing for the feature service as well. So I will say just update sharing and click done. And now once you take this URL and send it to anyone, they can view it the same way you view it right now, and they don't need to be part of your organization in order to view this map. So let's go back to ArcGIS Pro and try the second option, which is web layer. And publishing it as web layer is not going to publish it as a web map, but will publish it as a feature service. So let's go back to our content here. Now let's go to ArcGIS Pro and publish it, publish web layer from here, and we can call it layers. And here you choose the layer type to be feature, because this is a feature layer. And here you can define the sharing from here directly before you publish it. So let's say share with everyone, and we can do analyze to make sure everything is fine. So we have one warning here, layers data source is not supported. Let's open this error and see why. Here it say layers data source is not supported, which is the base map. So the base map we have here right now cannot be published as a feature service or a web layer. So what we will do is we will come here and actually remove this base layers and remove the other one. And let's do analyze right now. And as you see right now, we have no errors, we have no warnings, and if we publish, it should publish fine without a problem. So here, after we clicked published, we have the progress bar showing the publishing process, and once it finished, we can go to ArcGIS Online and see how this one looks like on our ArcGIS Online account. So now it said it's successfully published. Let's go to ArcGIS Online. Let's refresh this page. And now, as you see here, we have a new feature layer hosted. The name is layers. So when we published it as a web map, it created a web map for us and included all the layers we have inside of it, and also allowed this web map to have the default base map we have in our ArcGIS Pro. But when we published our data as a web layer, it only published the feature layers or the shapefiles we have as feature layers without the base maps, and actually didn't create any web maps for this. So that's the difference between when you publish it as a web map or publish it as a web layer. And we have a more advanced section for ArcGIS Online and how we can publish our data and actually use it in ArcGIS Collector, but that will be in the coming videos. But now you know how to publish your map in a very simple way, and you can share your map that you create in ArcGIS Pro on ArcGIS Online, and you can share it with anyone. So thank you so much, and if you have any questions, please contact me and let me know. Thanks.